developing story of one man's plan to expand Tiffin.
And an exclusive look at the theater production that will leave the theater on their toes.
And later, the story of a sailor who could not let his long-lost love go.
All this and more coming up exclusively on WHEI.
Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to WHEI News Center 10 live at 5 for Wednesday, March 2nd, 2016. I'm Elizabeth Wren.
And I'm Jeff Helms. Let's get to our first story of the night.
Yesterday was Super Tuesday, and as the presidential campaigns continue, it was crucial to all candidates to find their angle of attack during their campaign trail and act on it. As the candidates are scattered along the southern areas of the United States, Ohio Governor John Kasich made a decision to turn to the north for support. He is hoping to win over Michigan, but also stated that a win over Ohio was crucial to solidifying a spot in his run for president. Although a mechanical issue made a cancellation at one event in Michigan, he spoke at the next, expressing his deep sorrow for missing it and battling questions about Trump's campaign. Meanwhile, Clinton and Trump are head-to-head, both winning 7 states and making themselves as the front-runners in the race. While Clinton is playing towards the people, Trump is turning Clinton's campaign against her, explaining that she's been in the business for so long and has made no significant changes.
The abortion debate is back to the United States Supreme Court as the biggest case in a quarter century is being considered. The court is weighing on a Texas law that regulates abortion clinics. Advocates for abortion contest that the law, quote, hampers a woman's constitutional right to obtain an abortion. The law currently states that the doctors that perform abortions are required to have privileges at nearby hospitals, while the clinics are required to meet a certain set of standards for outpatient surgical centers. Texas states that they passed this measure in order to protect a woman's health. A week after Justice Scalia's death, this will be a hard case to fight, as the remaining 8 justices are divided equally between liberals and conservatives on the issue of abortion. On January 15th, 21-year-old Christopher Housel poured alcohol onto an open flame that burned 20-year-old Janelle No of the University of Toledo. Today, his bond has been set for $50,000 on a charge of aggravated arson. No is a junior cross-country runner at UT studying exercise science. The police reported that the incident caused 2nd and 3rd degree burns to 55% of her body. There is an online fund accepting donations for recovery that has currently raised $23,900. No attended the party this past January as the designated driver for her friends.
This morning, Kenneth Hicks of Diverse Development announced his investment into expanding Tiffin. The $1.1 million investment includes 3 retail spaces. These new stores would be located at the site of the former First Merit Bank, located at 596 West Market Street, and is expected to be completed this year. This growth would not only add to Tiffin's market diversity, but also create an estimated 40 to 70 jobs. That's all we have for your local news today. But when we return, a love story that will be sure to leave Heidelberg students standing.
And later, an Oscar Award-winning singer's mistake that left him wanting to crawl under a rock.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
This is the ocean, and this is Kipper. Kipper doesn't live in the ocean, but if she did, this is likely what would happen. This is Sparky. And this is habitat destruction. Boozer doesn't like it, neither does Fluffy. We wouldn't let this happen to Kipper, Sparky, Boozer, or Fluffy. In the oceans, it's worse. Lacking opposable thumbs, Kipper can't take action, but you can. Visit BeringSeaCanyons.org.
In the heart of Heidelberg's campus lies the Fireside Cafe and Pub, featuring a relaxing and engaging space welcome to the public. Fireside's menu includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, desserts, and even a soothing latte or coffee, offering a wide selection of exciting new and wholesome food options. Fireside Cafe Pub also serves a variety of refreshing drinks to accompany its cozy atmosphere. Come experience Fireside's new fall menu and visit us on Instagram at Berg Dining Services.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Welcome back to WHEI, your #1 source for campus news.
Let's get started on our Heidelberg Campus News segment.
As the faculty and staff continuously support Heidelberg students on their music endeavors, it is important for students to give them support in return. With this in mind, students are encouraged to attend the faculty recital of Ioana Galou. Ioana will be performing many classic pieces, including some of Beethoven's work. This recital will be Ioana's last, as she will be leaving Heidelberg for the University of South Dakota as an assistant professor of violin. Ioana has been with the Heidelberg School of Music for 11 years. The recital will take place on Thursday, March 6th from 3 to 4 p.m. in Old Concert Hall.
Heidelberg's spring play is Romeo and Juliet, but not the classic tale that you might remember. This retelling includes live electronics and audience interaction. Limited seating will be provided, but you will want to be left standing as the audience will move with the cast on stage for a full performance. Romeo and Juliet is not the same timeless tale under the direction of Chris Tucci, Associate Professor of Theater. Students will take the stage this week with opening night on Thursday, March 3rd. The play will begin at 7:30 p.m. in Gunlock Theater. Later performances are on Friday and Saturday, both at 7:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. each night. The last performance will be a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. Donations for the cost for the production will be accepted at the door. That's all we have for your Berg News today.
But when we return, we'll bring back some of your favorite childhood memories.
WHEI TV10, let's go!
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
When depression meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who's struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
We got adopted.
Over the years, I came to know the full story of what really happened. She had us when she was 17.
The way she saw things going, it wasn't a good environment to raise a kid. The fact that she did that just shows how strong of a woman my mother is, and I thank her each and every day for it. I wouldn't be the person who I am today, and I like the person I am today. I knew I was loved and I was part of a family, so that was what's important to me. I'm Christoph.
And I'm Christopher.
And our mom chose adoption.
Hello and welcome to our Social Spotlight segment. Let's check out what's trending today in the world of social news. If your favorite childhood book was Hop on a Pop or Cat in the Hat, today is the perfect day to celebrate. Today is National Read Across America Day in honor of the late Dr. Seuss's birthday. Theodore Geisel, famously known as Dr. Seuss, was an American writer and illustrator of children's books. Now, he was not a licensed doctor, but he could cure the aching heart of any child with one of his books filled with silly rhymes and tales. Today, he would have been celebrating his 112th birthday. In honor of your favorite childhood author, pick up a book today and read. And a celebrity left crawling under a rock after public embarrassment? That's exactly what singer Sam Smith is doing after a mix-up in his acceptance speech at the Oscars. The singer won Best Original Song and quickly took the stage, saying in his speech, quote, "I read an article a few months ago that said no openly gay man has ever won an Oscar. I want to dedicate this to the LGBT community all around the world." However, Smith had incorrectly referred to this article. Actor Ian McKellen clarified on Twitter that he had not actually said that no openly gay actor had received an Oscar. McKellen also tweeted words of support to Smith even with his blunder. However, others did not react so kindly. Previous Oscar winner and filmmaker Dustin Lance Black was one that was quick to jump to the internet to correct Smith after his speech. Smith shortly logged off after tweeting, quote, "Secondly open gay man to win an Oscar or third or fourth or 100th. It wasn't my point. My point was to shine some light on the LGBT community, who I love so dearly." And today is Wednesday, so it's time for Scotty C's Social Spotlight.
I'm Scott Carpenter, and you're in Campus Social Time with Scotty C.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Scotty C's Social Spotlight. I'm Scott Carpenter, and as we all know, the Oscars took place on Sunday. Now, there's no telling how long the Oscars could go, but thankfully they're over now, and there was some good and some bad that came from the Oscars. Let's start with the bad. First of all, Chris Rock hosted and did an incredible job as host to much people's reviews. However, in his monologue, he quickly brought up race, which left the topic "Oscars so white" trending on Twitter. However, he was very funny about it, so people took to it well. The main loser of the night that you just heard about was Sam Smith. He said that his performance was pitchy and one of the worst of all time, and that it was one of the worst moments of his life. The performance was pitchy, and in his acceptance speech, he misquoted an article and was bashed all over Twitter. Now, the reviews for the Oscars were mostly bad, some good, and here's that. The highlights in the movie that you kept hearing over and over was Mad Max, which won Oscar after Oscar, nominated for 9 and ended up winning 6. However, Best Picture was won by Spotlight. Chris Rock also took the opportunity as host to sell Girl Scout cookies to a bunch of rich celebrities, and he ended up selling $65,243 worth of Girl Scout cookies, and I'm sure his daughter won that event. And last and definitely not least, Leonardo DiCaprio won his first Oscar for Best Actor, finally ending the Leo never winning an Oscar memes that surfaced around the internet forever. Some not a big fan of acceptance speech, but nonetheless, we'd like to congratulate Leo on his first Oscar. Hopefully, there's many to come. Now, let's send it back to Elizabeth and Dan at the news desk.
Thanks, Scott. You know, Dr. Seuss was the first book I learned how to read. I don't know, it was 10 apples on a tree or something like that.
Yeah, my favorite would have to be Green Eggs and Ham.
I just loved, whenever my parents read them to me, they would do the voices, and it just made reading a little bit more fun.
Yeah, it made it a lot more interesting.
When we return, a love note lost at sea.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
I thought everything would go back to how it used to be. But that wasn't realistic for him, or our family. Make the Connection helped me realize that we are not alone. Other families are dealing with similar challenges and working toward the right solutions together. Visit maketheconnection.net to see stories like ours and learn how your family can start the journey toward recovery today.
When depression meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who's struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
Welcome back to WHEI News Center 10 live at 5.
Let's get to our last story of the night.
Last weekend, the mummified body of a German adventurer was found in a drifting yacht just 50 miles from the Philippines.
The owner of the boat was Manfred Fritz Borat and was found by 2 fishermen. However, that was not all that they found.
Alongside the body was an emotional love letter and farewell to Borat's wife, Claudia, who had died before Borat's departure in 2010.
It is believed that Borat was missing for 7 years before the body was discovered. The likely cause of the death is suspected to be from a heart attack.
Well, that's a sad story, to find someone who's been missing after 7 years to find that they were already passed away.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that every day.
Thank you for watching WHEI News Center 10 live at 5. Our program tonight was produced and presented by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our next broadcast.
I'm Elizabeth Wren.
And I'm Jeff Helms.
And for Scott and all of the WHEI production crew, we thank you for watching.